Hello, welcome back. This is Braemar, and today we'll be playing more Conflict of Nations World War III. Today we're going to be talking about advanced tactics that I've learned throughout my playthrough, what it actually takes to close out a game, and what you get for winning a game. First, let's talk about the information people want to know the most. What happens when you win a game? Once a coalition reaches the victory threshold, or at the end of 40 days for a 4x speed, I'm not exactly sure how long a regular speed game will go for, 2,500 gold will be split between the victors. You get gold based on how many victory points you contributed to the win. I found that very few people make it to the end in general. So if you're a dedicated player, you can easily rack up gold. Gold isn't the only benefit to winning. You can also increase your rank, which will give you access to better commanding units. You can find your rank and look at the different achievements at your homepage on the website. I think it's actually kind of cool that they include these little achievements. And what I'm talking about is when you go into a city, you come here into mobilization, you have officers. Officers are available to research. So it's kind of hard to see in the game on the PC, but if you have the mobile game, you can see the requirements under the missing requirements section. But if you hover over these locations, you'll see it actually requires a rank. That rank of 20 actually corresponds to your rank in the game. These commanders are extremely important and deal insane damage, and they actually increase the combat effectiveness of the units that they're paired with. Also, bragging rights. Now, if there are only a few people left in the game and you don't want to play the game out, you actually have the option to end the game. And if everyone actually agrees to ending the game, you can actually just trigger the victory thresh point. In the mobile game, this will be available in the More tab. You will actually click on Newspaper, click on articles, and then scroll down all the way to the bottom. Here it'll have a withdrawal retirement button. If all players vote to end the game will finish with the current scores and ranks. Otherwise, it'll continue until the 1500 threshold. But let's just say you don't want to be weak and end the game for no reason. What you want to do is train your units to the maximum level and dominate by victory. You have a few options. You're going to have to know the previous knowledge on how to build the economy and build units and research units. But now I'm going to tell you how to use some of these units to their most effective ability. First, I'm going to talk about the current games and what I'm using. In this game, I prioritized air superiority, helicopter strike ships, and basic infantry. Basic infantry, as you know from my last video, at a higher level can lay in mortar fire, which is very good against AI. I found when playing against players that they'll just rush the unit, which isn't that bad because they're decent on defense. The National Guard is still my go-to for cheap home defense. In my other game, my allies have been using airborne units, which I have enjoyed greatly. These units are great on attack and can just fly over terrible terrain. Marine and amphibious units are also useful, and I personally enjoy the special forces because at a later level, they're fast, strong, and also amphibious. I'm really torn between which one is better, the helicopter gunship or the missile attack helicopter. Both seem to do a great job depending on your situation. The most interesting and important part of the game I found is information. AWACS and UAVs tell you what you're getting yourself into and how to handle it. I also love all the different task force options. The ships all have amazing capabilities, but I feel like all of them are weak to quick attack submarines. So if you have an amazing naval advantage, that's awesome, but watch out for submarines. The last thing I want to talk about with the units are ICBMs or cruise missiles. These missiles can be launched from a variety of different units, and I would suggest prioritizing these units over the actual launchers themselves. Cruise ships, submarines, and UAVs can launch cruise missiles, and it's amazing because of their range. Also, being able to slap one onto a submarine and roll it up undetected is amazing as well. Using your air and sea superiority will allow you to clear units and just waltz in like nobody's business. If you have an issue, you can mortar fire them out or just overrun them with tanks, and if that doesn't work, shell them out with heavier artillery. A few small pointers that I want to point out. If you're playing against the AI, you can stage attacks very easily. You can click a unit and move it right up against the border without invading. This tactic does not work too well against a player because they can see your troops and know that you're coming. The other thing I want to mention is don't be mean and rude. People will single you out and attack you. Work together and form a coalition. Talk. Work with your allies. It's much easier to team up. In this game, I've been playing as Ukraine all by myself, and you can see I've had an extremely difficult time pushing through, and now I'm at war with the USA. But in this game, where I play as Hungary and I've teamed up with Italy, I've been able to dominate the entire game. And now we're planning on invading the UK. I hope you enjoy the game as much as I do, and I hope that these late game tips are of some assistance. Again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below or in the text help chat. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.